in our calendars.
Well, if they change the calendar, you'll never know the day of the rapture or the day of the apocalyptic event that's supposed to take place.
Yep. I think that's it.
I mean, look at the back of a turtle shell. Yeah, that's what they use. They use the turtle shell as a calendar. I mean, it's all in front of us. We just gotta look for it.
You lost rapture.
Number 31, well, who was talking about that? Thank you for letting me in. Am I speaking out of turn?
Oh, you're good.
Are my pencils making too much noise?
Not really.
Okay. So somebody mentioned number 31. I think they said it doesn't run in the cycle, right? But the 1 and 3 actually do run in a cycle, but in an alternative way. So if you go 13, 31, 13, it equals to what is 57. If you go 31, 13, 31, it equals to 75. Why do they reflect each other? And there's a lot more connections to this. If you go 1, 3, 1, it equals to 5. If you go 3, 1, 3, it equals to 7. So we get 5 and 7 again. What is so relevant about 5 and 7? And you're right, it was the education program system that we cram for, right? The head of the RAM, cram and RAM and Mars, the Mars system, where we put the ring on the 9th finger, where you hook up the male and the female, we join the house, where they said it's all man-made, man on the moon, man this, but yet when you speak in French, they end the same relationship between man and woman by ending with MME, relating more to woman. And in the English, it's more to man. We use the same alphabet. There's an alphabet, numeric, color, science going on in this house. It's absolute perfection in the work I do.
Well said.
You can't get away from the truth, you know what I'm saying? 3 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3, you get 9 and 8. Those are the two highest and the two lowest actual numbers, because 1 and 5, everything rotates at 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 5, what 1 does, when you multiply it, it equates the same number you began with. You went nowhere. And when you use 5 multiplied by any number, it's going to half that number. So only what is 2, 3, and 4 has any movement at all. But only 2 and 3 say anything at all, because 4 is just the alternative or halfway point between the two. This way or this way. They crisscross. It's 4, 3, and 2. So anyways, the two of them, 1 and 5, are fire signs, and inside of the fire signs is 2, 3, and 4, which is Earth's heart, or Earth's vibration. Oh, there's a lot I can say. I mean, I don't know what kind of questions are out there. Why? What about 12? What about 13? Right? What about Saturn?
13 is definitely biblical.
Okay, I'm going to look for number 13. First of all, number 13 for the bar mitzvah. Anybody hear of that before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so the males in the Hebrew religion, they have bar mitzvahs at the age of 13. And please note, when you reach the age of 13, you do know the age is over complete.
Right.
So you've completed 169 moons.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take an area space and take 1 area square, right? You've completed 12 cycles around the 1 area square, equaling to a 616 area space, or a 13 by 13 equals to 169 moons.
Yep.
You know what game that is that describes this exact, hold on a second, I'm going to show you the game. It's right here.
The number 13 is actually very common.
Well, alright, so the only thing I would base, because I'm listening and thinking of the 13, is the 3 and the 1. 3 and the 1 makes the 4. 4 weeks, 7 times 4 gets you back to the 28. So it could be an analogy to get you right back to the 28, which is the woman's cycle.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. So they just fuck with the 31 to get you thrown off. That is actually 4 weeks by the 7 days, which would get you back to 28. 28 by 13, 364. That's how much days are in the year. Simple. I don't know.
Can I tell you something about 13? So you guys, so 13 is biblical a lot. Like there's a lot of scriptures on the number 13.
I agree.
And it's also physical. So there's a lot of. I mean, a good example is like there's 13 stripes on the American flag. There's 13 folds in the American flag when that passes away.
The letter M too.
Yeah, I mean, there's 13 steps to the pyramid. There's 13 steps to the temple. 13 steps to the what's it called? Shit, I can't remember.
I got a question. While we're on this subject, I got a question for everybody here. Okay. So if 13 times 28 equals 364, and there's an extra day lost every year, and there's an extra day lost in leap year every 4 years, wouldn't that start to add up? Wouldn't it start to circle around, and the spring would be the the fall eventually in somebody else's generation. We don't even know what year it is. We just hear the lies and just lies and lies on top of lies. We don't even know what fucking year it is. Can anybody answer?
Yeah, I'm going to explain to you something.
The year, so that way you don't know the year or the time period that the Lord comes back.
If we wanted to look
I think the point is not we're not going look at we're looking without instead of looking within, and these all are different opposing different questions.
It was no, Chris. It was a legitimate question about
I know what you're saying. I'm on your
why
side.
wouldn't it be circling around eventually?
I mean, what I'm gathering is, but
If we're in, listen, if the real year would be what, 2018, if we went by the other calendar. Shit, I can't remember the name of the calendar.
I'd rather you answer the other question. Why wouldn't it eventually be different temperatures that we would notice, because the days would be messed up, because the days are messed up because we left from the Gregorian calendar, or whatever the hell, where they got this bullshit where it's not Christ's birthday in the middle of damn winter. Why in the world would it not, if there's an extra, 5 days every 4 years, if you're including leap year and the one day that they're missing in the calculation I just said, if there's 5 days however, why wouldn't the temperature start to change and April 1st start to be a little bit cooler every year until it turns into hot as fucking August?
Here's the answer.
and my question is, why does everything feel like it's going backwards from smart to less intelligent?
Oh, okay. So dice.
There's 21 dots on the dice. There's 1,461 days, counting the leap year. Adding 21 days or 21 to 1,440 minutes in a day, which is 4 times around. 360, 360, 360, 360, 1,440 minutes in a day. Well, if we did a 1,440, right, all the way around, only one spin, okay? Only one spin in 4 years because we added on the day. So it's not complete at the end of 1 year when you celebrate. You only celebrated 1/4 of the cycle.
So why wouldn't it gradually change if the calendar's wrong by 5, whatever it was, 5 days every, whatever I said?
We live in utopia. They control everything. It's all under perfect control. Number 13, if you take any number, okay, and divide it by 13, you're going to get an answer that's going to look like 76923, or a multiple of it, up to number 12, and then it's going to start over again. And each and one of the answers is going to equal to what is going to be a total of 6 numbers, and those 6 numbers will equal to a total of 27, no matter which one it is after the decimal, all the time, forever.
This guy's got me so lost that I believe that he can do card tricks. Holy shit.
I was about to say, I said this is a higher pay grade.
Yeah, I'm going to show you.
I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Oh, no, I make it simple.
I can keep up with some of it, but like this shit that I've never heard.
Can you see this behind me? I'm going to show you.
He didn't answer my question.
It does answer your question. He just does it in a very.
Well, I sure as hell didn't understand it, Dallas. I'm sure.
Well, his question is, though, why wouldn't the seasons change? Why would the seasons get off after
But
a while?
the seasons are changing, and people haven't noticed that. Like the seasons are pushing, but it's slow. Like why do you
It's
think
not-
repeat?
Over generations, people would notice because there's an extra, whatever I said. How many days was it, Mr. Card Magician over there?
1460. Hold on a second. I have some of the smartest friends in the world, and let me tell you one thing. If they came into this conversation, they would walk away saying these guys all need to be committed, because they only. It's just unbelievable. It's just. I can't watch.
You didn't even answer the question. What the hell?
Okay,
You said
1461. 1461.
7,464 million trillion billion. Anybody can say number. Come on, help me out here, brah.
Listen.
He's saying dumb it down for him.
There's 365 days in 3 years. There's 366 days in the 4th year. But since when is a circle more than 360? Therefore, there's something that's connected, okay? And what's connected is this cube. This cube, okay? How this cube splices together to put on the extra days of time. So what is 13? Everything goes to 6, okay? The 6 protons, the 6 neutrons, the 6 electrons. If you want to count binary, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Stop right there, because after that you start over again at 64. You want to start at 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Stop right there, then we start over again. And it continues on that way. These are absolutes in mathematics. You can't change this. This system we live in, the moon, the sun, the planets, the whole cycle, the constellations, the 88 constellations, the day, the Pope, the 111th day the Pope went to pass on, right? Is the January 25th, when they went into that.
Oh,
That was 11/11.
Yeah, he passed on 111th day of the year.
that's crazy.
9 times 9, no, I think it's 9 times 9 is, I think, 81, and 9 plus 9 is 18, is back to, so somebody also mentioned 9 times 9 is 81 before, but 84 minutes is equal to 11/11 or 121.
And that's why you can 9 times anything, and you always end up with 9 in the equation.
There's two...
Can I say something, please? You didn't answer my question in a very intelligent way. So I want to please ask the question again. First of all, you said the 4 years went back to 365.55, and leap year all pulled it together and then showed up above. What I'm saying is, it doesn't work out because we would be losing a day every year, and then plus leap year. Let me finish. That's 5 days every 4 years because their math ain't mathing, because 13 times 28 is 60, or what the hell is it, 364. And there's 365 days in a year, plus the fourth day that's leap year would be 5 days every 4 years. Why in the world would the temperature not start gradually changing and every season would turn into each other? Because their math is wrong and it's 364 instead of 365.
It's to change the calendar, man. It's to change time.
We live in a system, and we live in a system.
The speed of the...
I'm not talking about, you see, there's two basics to the core of this system. Okay, either it's going to be a dot that separates 4 windows, okay, or either it's going to be an area space that's complete and whole within its own. And you can find these things in games, and I'm having trouble with the light on my camera. When I tried to show this, it's not coming in properly. I don't know why. Does anybody know how to fix my camera? It's got too much light.
Lower the light on your phone.
It's okay. Hold on. Lower the light on my phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get what his question is, though. I do get what his question is. That is a good question.
It still don't pop up very good.
No, it's not. So what?
When you first came in, you looked like some kind of Marvel hero that was just all mirrory white. I was like, what the?
It's like green screen.
It's Flash.
If he's so smart, he's got all this shit figured out. Why can't he just answer the damn question?
Okay.
I and trigonometry, for the love of God, man.
Because the season. Listen. If I believe, okay, and understand that we're the entire this area space, that this platform that we're on, okay, can spin within the ocean itself, and each of the platforms can move together as the seasons change. And in the model I have here, if I can show it to you, is a 13 by 13 area space. It's in relevance in connection to the 313 cycle of the moon. If you look up on your phone right now, Orphan Roulette, look that up. You will see 2 areas that have been taken away. Each of the areas will have a total of, one area will have 3 numbers equaling to 57. The other will have 5 areas equal to 75. They also say electric company. The male and the female come to connect. The male and the female, the 13th and the 12th letter. 25 is Jack. Jack is a hookup. Jack is also a hookup of all the colors mixing up together in order for the...
Electrical hookup.
Underneath the ground, the first bell hookup for your telephones. Atlantis Communication Centers under the ground instead of Atlantis.
Are you correlating that with the ground movement, with the sky movement, and an electrical, like an electrostatic?
I just know that the word electric equals to 75. I know the moon equals to 57. I know the bar mitzvah is 13 and the bat mitzvah is 12. I know that 1 times 2 and 1 plus 2 equals to 2 and 3. 2 and 3 equals to 5. I know 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to 3, and 4 equals to 7. Okay, that is where the 12 and the 13 come in. Now, when the 2 and the 3 come in, I need an ABC connecting to a BCD, where the ABC 1, 2, 3 equals to 6, for I come in as the 6 of the proton, of the neutron, of the electron.
We should get our multimeters
like
out to record the electric fluctuations outside, and they give you them numbers.
So no, the 300. Why we never move, and what's happening right now is everything is under control. That's why. I mean, it's just simple. If you divide any number by 7, the answer will be 142857. How come I have the answer right now? How come all the numbers I gave you are going to equal everything, but there's no 3, 6, and 9?
Because it's a holographic matrix, bro.
It's an absolute perfection. Absolute perfection. We live in the Hall of
Where does the
Fame.
extra day go every year? Where are 5 days from the 4th? Leap year for the love of God, man.
Okay, so
Why don't they have the McRib all
okay,
year
do
round?
you want to know why? How come we don't lose that extra day? Why we don't fall into the night? Is that why you're asking me? How do we add on this day without falling into the night?
Yeah,
No, it's not about falling in. Let me talk. No, it's not about falling into the night or falling into the day. It's about losing a day every year in their ridiculous calendar that's lying. If their calendar is lying and it's 5 days off every 4 years because of leap year, then they've added 5 days from God's 364 instead of 365 from 13 times 28, the 28 moon phases. How in the world is it not perpetually not working out? If their math is wrong, why isn't April 1st turn into May 31st after a generation went by? Why doesn't it work if their math doesn't work?
Okay, let me take a look at this. First of all, April 1st is the 91st day. It's the beginning. What happens? Okay, in numerology. Now I'm going to leave this out right now. There's a reason for April 1st, a specific reason for April 1st. The 84th day of the year is the beginning of Aries. 7 times 12. Okay, you have both reached the heart of the cube, 3.5. That's where a 7 meets. So far, so good. I know it's not easy to understand. The surface face of a cube, the heart is 5. The surface center is 5. Okay, but because you have to go down a level, it's noted that it's the 7th gate. It's the heart of the entire cube. There's 27 area spaces on a cube. Rubik's Cube. Okay, I'm going to get to this answer. First of all, 91 times 4 is 364. There's only 1.25 days. It's 5 days every 4 years. Is this where we stand so far?
I think you guys fucking lost me.
Well, the gentleman was saying, where did the 5 days go? So it's 5 days every 4 years, which is 1.25, or what is 5 times 5 times 5. It's lost to the clock. Okay.
I'd be scared of you if you were
Lost in the clock. No, if it's a perfect clock, just like the turtle's back, if it's a perfect clock and 28 times 13 is 364, then you're going to lose the day every time. I mean, it's simple.
Anybody felt that?
I've said it. He can't answer it. He starts talking about carrots and fucking 6 carrots.
No. Seriously, it's lost in the clock. You have to understand the way it works. You have to count how everything works. Okay. The reality is, all you lose is 6 hours. You lose it in the calculation between the 13th moon and the 12th month, which takes 156. The cycle of 156, or what is 13 times 12, which is, if you look at Rubik's Cube, there are 26 cubes that surround one cube in Rubik's Cube. 26 times 6 equals 156, which is equivalent to 13 times 12, where the male and the female, again, come together. If you're
You're going, I understand what you're saying, but you're going outside of the question. Zach is saying there's always going to be a day missing.
Okay.
There's 2.5 days extra on the
Right.
Can't explain how it works, but the question has not been answered, basically. That's what you're saying.
But yeah, he keeps going on and on about it being perfection.
Yeah, perfection, prism, or whatever.
You're missing what's happening.
Yeah, there's only 1 day missing. There's only a quarter day, 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours. That's all we're missing. Well, I have to find the difference here. This is what you're talking about. Why are we missing this?
So you're saying it's not a perfect clock. You're saying it's not. You'd have to be saying it's not a perfect clock if it wouldn't gradually, over people's generations, that people, if somebody knew that April 1st it felt good in Memphis, then their children's grandchildren would realize that the gradual situation of their math is bullshit. Then the calendar doesn't add up because there's a day lost. Then April 1st would end up being May 31st in somebody's generational. Somebody would say something to their kids. They're lying to us. The fucking calendar's off. Why are we going by this calendar when it's now hot as shit in April?
Well, first of all, for me, I didn't see any change of temperature, but we all know we're living in a game. It's all not real. I mean, it's so simple. It's all a joke.
Well, it's not a game.
I think it's a training center.
He's the best at not answering a question.
You were very smart,
That's
man.
not to answer a question in high school. It was in the yearbook.
About mathematics, man. Mathematics you're smart at, okay? But we're talking about reality of what's happening. We're not talking about math problems or how the clock. Like this is what we're saying. We've been indoctrinated into lies, right? So if the math is supposed to be perfect, that means they took a day or whatever you said. There's an extra 4 days is what you said, or 5 days?
Oh, can I tell you something?
Every 4 years because of leap year is added.
They did that. They did that to block out. This is what I believe because of my beliefs.
Let's hear it.
Had to block out the real resurrection day of Jesus Christ because think of the plants that come back in the summertime and die in the winter. I mean that's resurrection. I It's the same time. Yeah.
Resurrect, you know that? On the 22nd, 23rd,
It's resurrect.
24th.
I was,
As on the
wow,
cross.
where was I with this? Oh my god. We all know we all know they're...
I can't keep
You
up with
said a
them.
lot of very intelligent stuff
According
that
to
I didn't
the...
understand, but none of it answered the damn question.
Okay,
at
okay, I
all.
remember what it was. I remember what it was. Wait, we're working...
problem, guys. What's going on?
We're working on the system of 360 degrees. Would that be correct if we wanted to have a circle of 360?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm
We're
going
not
to use the
talking about
360.
circles and squares. We're talking about temperature differential in the mathematics of the calendar that they lied about. Why do you keep changing the subject? Man,
I need to show you.
We can go on for hours.
They have a... Listen,
That's the point.
they can't... Well, listen, I didn't know it was about temperature, but I can get into the metric system. But there's so much to write down. I'd have to know what the... Just let me tell you where I'm going, because I'm not sure where the whole question came is. All I know is a circle...
I said 9 times. It was very clear.
A circle is 360 degrees. Anything
We're
over
not
that...
talking about circles and squares in kindergarten. This is bullshit. We're not even going there again. Stop it, please, and answer the question. You got a very good brain. You know what I said. If you can't answer it, say, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. So we're asking why.
Would we all say that 365 is bogus, right? Because that one extra day that they add on was to throw the time off. Because you're right. I think if that's the case, then April 1st not gonna land right on April 1st every time. But that's
why they call it April Fool's Day. It's based on that.
Right. It's based on that one day that they're fooling you with, and I don't think it exists. I think
the cube. Listen, we understand the cube. We understand we understand the dimensions of the cube. We understand the space of the cube. But you're not on the same page. Your ass is flying in outer space while we're sitting here trying to talk logical about one day.
I'm talking logical. You have to understand the cube is the link between the
yes,
zero...
the cube is perfect. We got that.
No, forget it.
We're saying the people that taught us the calendar are not perfect.
I'm not talking about that. I want to tell you what they're doing, what I believe they're doing.
Okay, all right, let's hear this part.
A circle is...
Fly away again, I'm jumping out of this bitch.
A circle is 360, no questions about it. Okay? Now, how do you, why 365? Because there's no real such thing as a circle. It's connecting two ends. The cube part over here makes up the 5.25 days, okay, that are left over. And however they manipulate this cube, okay, to keep the seasons in check.
Circle, a ring, a beginning, an ending. No, it's not. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
And you know what this is? This is you. The reason for all these extra days is because we were born into the system. We are filling the gap.
Yeah,
and we still can't figure out the system because it's all lies, and you can't. You're smart as a motherfucker, and you can't even answer it. You can't answer the question.
Are you asking?
You cannot answer the question, or they would have jumped in by now.
What is the question?
Humans are the bridge to fix that system.
No way he said, what is the question? No way I gotta repeat myself for the 10th time.
I know you didn't say what is the question.
Yes.
I hope he didn't. Please don't make me say it again and do the same math again.
This man is good. Hey, listen, don't do that online.
So you don't ask again, you just go, okay.
Listen, so you just said, hold on. Let's go back to what you said. You said humans are the bridge to fix that part of the system because it was
Nikki, hey Nikki, what's happening?
Hey,
Haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a bit.
You know, saying, I don't know about this live no more, man, because I can't keep up with the intellectual fucking. Like,
you ain't lying.
Like, this guy is this guy's smarter than fucking Einstein and Stephen Hawking. I don't know how to keep up with what he's trying to say.
He's smart.
And you're very smart, man. We respect you and I appreciate your hard work into learning this shit. But like when we just want to,
you know, Einstein and his MC squared.
We just want a basic answer of why they do it technically.
Einstein's equals whatever is
Einstein was a fucking nutcase and
it's bullshit.
I can be Einstein and married. Make it make sense. That's what Einstein was.
You know, we have to go through the cube. You know, it shows it right here. Here it is. There's the extra time. Right there.
I'm about to go get an oxygen tank and drown myself.
Tap the screen, Shan TV. Tap the screen, Shan TV. Shan TV, tap the screen. You can't get anything.
I just got here and I have no fucking clue what's going on except for
I asked this guy a question and he's smart as fuck and he went on and on and on and on and on and on and never answered the question because I believe he can't.
It sounds like NASA.
He's reading from a script.
I mean, he sounded very smart with numbers, but I want to ask you, Nikki, and maybe Mick platypus down there will catch what I'm saying this time. I'm tired of asking the same damn question with ridiculous answers.
He was answering your question.
Let me try again, Dallas. Let me try again, Dallas. Nikki's very smart. Nikki's very smart. Let me ask it again. Okay. Let Zach have the floor. Okay. If the calendar is messed up and we're missing one day every year because there's 28-day moon phases and 28 times 13 months that we're supposed to have in God's perfect calendar would come up to 364. So there's 365 days in a year, of course, and there would be a missing day every year. In every 4 years, there would be another missing day, which would equal 5 missing days out of their ridiculous calendar that they're lying about. And if God's perfect clock, like the turtle's back, 28 times 13 equals 364, then we would be missing a day every year. So why in the world would April 1st not turn into May 31st, and the generations of people wouldn't be able to tell their children that April 1st used to be, it felt great, and now it feels like fucking August? Why would it not perpetually, gradually change? Every generation, there would be a missing day every year, plus the leap year, which would equal 5 in 4 years. Go.
That was a long question.
Yeah, I know. I follow it.
I'm a fan. You don't know.
I'm on board. I see that. So yeah.
I believe it's to disprove God, man. That's my opinion.
So I have a question.
Was absolutely to take us out. And then the J is supposed to be year of our Lord, Jesus Christ. They took that J out and put in a 1. So they completely changed us. And the big one is the 19-year cycle, the solar and lunar period. So if you're going by the Hebrew calendar, which combines both lunar and solar cycles, as compared to like the Ethiopian calendar is just solar, Gregorian is just solar, many of them are just solar. The true calendar is supposed to be lunar and solar cycles, with the months starting at the new moon and the years aligning with the seasons. And to keep accurate and precise with that, the instructions of months, dates, and holy days are that very thing. So God's order in creation is precise timing, knowing when to plant your food, knowing when to take out your food, knowing when your animals are fertile and ready to go, knowing when to get those babies out in time before winter starts and stuff like that. So the Gregorian calendar absolutely fucked that right from sideways. We're completely off. The Ethiopian calendar today, even though it goes by solar cycle, it's the closest thing that we have too. But today's date would be June 1st, 2018.
Yeah, so that makes sense if it goes with Nostradamus' prediction too by 2030 that the poles are going to shift and the Midra fault line and the San Andreas fault line are going to give. You guys got to do some research on Nostradamus because that is why the calendar is fucked.
Why can't anybody answer the question?
Wait, she just did.
No, she did.
Because they changed the calendar.
Oh, she did.
We absolutely changed it. It's supposed to be 364. It starts with the lunar cycle, right? The combination of the lunar and solar cycles, the beginning of the year, and involves the 19-year cycle of the solar and lunar periods. You need to know.
Basically, the answer is, Zach, that they changed the fucking calendar because they wanted to. Okay, because if we get into religion, I mean, I know why they changed the calendar.
So they gradually changing the seasons as well too?
Yes, well, no, the season.
They got us out by like 4 months right now. Like my summer is not even starting until the end of September.
Is everybody forget that land moves?
And not only that,
moving also changes seasons.
Not only that, but when they're using weather modification, you can look up one atmosphere, solar radiation modification and deployment, and understand why they're changing our seasons and making us think, oh, we just came out of an ice age and yada yada blah blah blah.
Did I explain this shit earlier about a magnetic ring? Imagine being land and you're moving around that magnetic ring. You're moving away, right? So these are how the pole shifts in my eyes that create like earthquakes and massive fault line given. It's all that pressure that builds in the center, right? So it's rotating around this ring slowly over hundreds and hundreds of years, right? We can't say it. It's a massive scale. Like, people don't know how to put scale with math. Like, they don't understand that. Like, I'm talking about, if you had, I'm saying, say I got a 100,000 mile radius magnet, okay? On top of that, I got 600,000 mile radius of land. What do you think's going to happen with that land eventually if it's filled with metals and magnetic, friction? It's going to draw towards that magnet, no matter what.
Well, that's a natural thing to do, isn't it?
But it's going to take a long time because it's massive, right? It's going to be slow. You're not going to feel it.
it draws towards the stator, and that's where
The Holy Spirit movement is within the earthquakes because it builds pressure.
exactly opening of the Earth's crust.
Exactly. I mean, I've proved like this. This is the best proof that I can give people is when because the Midra fault line has been splitting over the last 10 years. They have cracks everywhere. The San Andreas fault line also has cracks, but it's never on the news. You can go there and see them, but it's been over 20, 30 years. It's going to take a long time. Like by 2030, I feel like the fault lines are going to give, and the crust is going to be so weak, but it's going to be like 600. You know,
So to answer Zach's question, we might be processing.
Yeah, didn't you say something?
I've given up, Chris. I've given up. I've heard about 40 minutes of people not answering the question. I mean, maybe
If you got one spin up in the sky, if you got one spin, if you get a spin up in the sky one way, and then all of this is out.
Are you looking to understand like when the actual calendar year starts?
like I'm saying that if it's a perfect clock, like I think it is,
it is a perfect.
why in the world?
People made it not perfect because they lied. That's it.
That doesn't matter. If it's perfect, then just like the turtle back says 13 months, 28 days, and flat earthers alike all over the planet, laugh out loud, they agree that the turtle's back, it has 28 times 13. It's all God's plan. If it's all God's plan, it's all perfect and knowledgeable, why in the world would there be an extra day and then an extra day every 4 years and equals 5 days? It would eventually, I'm saying that April would evolve into May. April would evolve into May. May would evolve into August. Somebody please answer the question.
5 times 5 times 5 is the answer.
God also, you'll never know the year, or you'll never know the day that he comes back, right? Yeah. He said that you will know the signs and the moons, the suns and the stars, and he also said you will also know the season, but you'll never know that time period. So maybe it was in God's design to put that in that system. And on top of that, we have the people that changed the calendar, made it harder to understand the system, or the calendar. That's why that's why you'll never know when the Lord comes back, because you're not supposed to know. That's why it's an imperfect clock in your eyes, but it's a perfect clock in his eyes. He made it imperfect on purpose. It's like breadcrumb. Everything's breadcrumbs.
I don't agree with that, but I think it's been taken out of perfect harmony because we're not doing a lunar solar calendar like the Hebrew calendar does, the Chinese calendar, Tibetan, and Hindu calendar. But Ethiopian, Julian, Gregorian, they all go by just solar. They don't give a fuck about the lunar. They don't give a fuck about the balance. And when you're doing that, you don't know the month and you don't know the season. Seasons is just another word for year. That is your year, right? The moon tells you your month. The sun tells you your year.
So maybe there's an eclipse. You know, and this is when I started thinking, because China made a fake sun a while back. You guys remember that?
No.
You guys don't remember China making an artificial sun? You can look it up. This was years ago. So what if the artificial sun was to produce an eclipse that wasn't supposed to be in our calendars?
They're predicting the eclipses with sun simulators that make eclipses, so they sound smart, and the globe physics work out, and the math is all perfect, and everybody's happy because we live on a globe with a bunch of atheists. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying they added an eclipse. Like, the only eclipse that we can have is the sun behind the moon. That's realistic on a flat Earth, right? That's the only thing you can have. Now, what if they added eclipses to disprove that the Earth is flat?
I don't believe that to be true. Some of us know that
other eclipses couldn't happen unless it was a reflection off of the firmament.
Well, it's not the firmament, it's the vortex, because the greater light always takes over the lesser lights. And the greatest light is an invisible light. You do not see the light that shoots up from the vortex to Polaris. All you see is Polaris, then giving the projection. That highest frequency, you don't have the ability to attain because your technochromacy, your ability to see high frequencies was eliminated in your DNA a long time ago when you got booted out of Eden. You're in a different playing field now.
I didn't get booted out of Eden.
Well, we all did.
No, we didn't. It was just two people that made us suffer.
Well, it wasn't suffer. It was every subshell needs to be filled in as a negative before it can attain a higher frequency.
Well, they also make when you're in the Garden of Eden, they got damned to death, right? They did. Now they die once they leave Eden. So therefore, they were immortal when they were in Eden. See, we suffer now. We have to deal with
the Christ consciousness is still immortal. Flesh is not immortal. Flesh will never be immortal. Your soul.
So Adam and Eve weren't flesh.
Is what's immortal. That's your Christ consciousness. That was the Christ that was created in the beginning.
Okay. I don't want to get into the Bible too much about it because there's a lot
That's
of
not Bible. That's
what? Christ consciousness isn't in the Bible. Is that what you said?
no. They don't want you believing that you have God in you. They don't want you knowing that at all.
You have to go into reading some of the Gnostic texts.
The Bible goes completely sideways on that one.
You gotta read more books.
You
More
to
books.
get
More
redemption.
book. And trust me, I understand what you're saying, but it also does say that God is in us in the Bible. It says that Christ consciousness is
Right. Adam and Eve is a way to explain. Adam and Eve was a way to explain your conscious mind, like your electric, two different poles, the left side of your brain, the right side of your brain, the experience that we're going through. It was a way to describe something that's indescribable.
So are you saying that we could talk to animals back then?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I'm saying that you got to read more of the Bibles are books that weren't put in the Bible that were burned by the early churches.
yeah, the earliest Bible I could probably get my hands on is from 1599, and that's going to be a while from now.
You know how many books are down in the basement of the Vatican?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just.
Well, they
You do?
completely destroyed all the
I
Gnostic.
don't know exactly how many. I know they have a lot.
They burned lots of stuff, but even
Now the
still,
Monty
you
texts
can
were
go
found
through-
underground buried.
Exactly. You can go through the Nog, you can go through the books that they've actually tried to eliminate out of the Bible and sift through that a little bit and maybe acknowledge a little bit of Buddhism, Taoism, Jadeism, Hinduism, animism, shamanism, all of those isms that they claim are just mythology, all of those temples that are on ley lines and stuff that they claim has no significance to the energy that exists on our fields. Go into it a little bit.
And you'll
Like,
get a
that's
whole different understanding of the few books, the sparse books that they put into the canon
Trust me,
to
I
explain
understand.
the situation. Because with the
Before
first
ether
book,
was in
hold on,
everything.
I was speaking. You just cut me off. Well, go ahead. Then I lost my train of thought.
Okay, so give me any two numbers, and I'm going to show you how how 7 plays with these two numbers. It's going to be a division of 7. After the decimal will equal to 142,857. They will be cardinal and fixed signs, will not include a mutable sign, which is 3, 6, and 9. So pick any two numbers together, like 58, 31, or...
No, I want to back up and say what is the definition of a mutable sign, if you can say that in layman's terms, for about maybe 12 or 13 words. Can you explain that to the crowd?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's the next thing I have to get on. It's the thing I said I'm going to study what it is. Right now, I only know the numbers. All I know is cardinal, mutable, fixed. But if that's the question, I'm going to come back at you. So, no, the only thing is that whatever number you pick, okay, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 58, or 22, there's only going to be one of 6 answers. And all of the answers will be divisible by 142,857. So does somebody just want to...
response? I'm waiting for you to finish.
Oh, just give me two numbers so I can shut down.
Okay, 7 billion times 6 trillion and 3,400 over a cloud over a rainbow.
Okay, cloud over the rainbow. The third letter and the 18th letter, 21 is a perfect number. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So you're going to have to pick just two numbers. So, I mean, because it does nothing for me to pick. So what I'm trying to say is I'm going to give everybody some...
It's 22.
Okay, 22 equals to 142,857 when divided by 7. You knew that one already.
I know what the hell you're talking about. Never.
So this is what I want you to do. 999,999 divided by 7 or 13. Play with that. I gotta go. Take care. See you later.
Wow. Just wow. Wow. Just wow. I mean, I'm shocked. Shocked. And let that be a lesson to you.
I'm lost.
So, I don't know what he was trying to get at there. That was
A lot of numbers mean a lot of numbers, Nikki. We don't understand what people that are autistic that need to be in a psych ward say, but...
It was like talking to my kid when she's talking that brain rot shit. And I'm like, what in the fuck language are you freaking speaking right now? This is, yeah. But if he was referring to any kind of programming, immutable, it cannot be modified after it's created. So if he's saying that 7 and 13 are immutable no matter what they add up to because of that, because they can't be modified, whereas the mutable signs can, they're adaptable and they adjust to new situations. That would make the immutable the only ones that are predictable.
I just want to say with all due respect to the panel, that was absolute entertainment, and I watch him all the time for that specific fact. Not a single one of you knew deep down what the fuck he was going.
I like this guy already.
I know Mr. T.
Honest to God was trying. I honestly was trying to listen. I was trying.
He believes what he's saying. He will give you an answer for anything. I'll say to him stuff in the comments. I'll make stuff up and I'll still answer it. I'll say, what about, Mr. T, when the cosmos of Venus will collide with Jupiter? What happens on Saturn's ring on its orbit? What diaphragm does that go on? And he'll give me an answer to it. The guy's clearly not well. Do you know what I mean? The guy is not well, yeah? And he'll sit there and he'll give you any answer with any numbers that you ask him. Because in his head, he has got the answer with it. But it makes absolutely no sense because it's absolute insanity. Now, he's been on every single live that I know from here to